guys, Kyle the Death Knight of Anime here, bringing you my review for One Piece Chapter 891. And right off the bat, I may as well, for anyone who basically saw that last page, we all know Oda's going on break again, which honestly, I don't know what to make of that one particularly. I want to assume that Oda going on break again is probably because I want to assume it was maybe one of the few times where Oda was caught off guard. I don't know, but I don't know. Either way, he's going on break, so we're not gonna have a chapter next week, which honestly I can deal with. Take your time, Oda. This chapter was enough, I think, this chapter was enough in order to keep us entertained for a bit. But so the chapter opens up with people firing at Luffy while he just dodges like a boss, and I'm pretty sure that's pretty much Oda showcasing Luffy's observation hockey and how close it is becoming on the same level as Katakuri. Like it is, the whole fight with Katakuri and Luffy in this chapter, it was basically just to showcase how much Luffy's hockey has elevated since the last time we saw him fight. And honestly, like another thing that was about this chapter is that it had me saying, Katakuri, we get it. You're cool. You don't need to keep proving it to us, dude. You're pretty much like Tom Cruise. We pretty much all know how badass you are. You don't need to keep proving that, bro. And yeah, cause like honestly, like the way that he was fighting and speaking in this chapter about preventing Luffy from standing, hitting his left shoulder and hitting his right shoulder. For me, that really shows again how much strategy Oda is actually putting into this one fight, because and I guess just how much, looking back, just how much strategy that Oda likes to put into his fights in general, I guess, because looking at this one fight, Katakuri is fighting using pressure points, using knowledge of pressure points, basically, but he's basically basically whenever Luffy throws a punch, Katakuri is basically hitting a point on Luffy's body where it basically nullifies pretty much any of the attacks that Luffy is going to do. So it proves that even though Luffy is made of rubber, there's some human limitations there's some limitations that Luffy can't. There's some limitations that even Luffy can't. It's impossible for Luffy to avoid. Like again, the whole pressure point thing. Like he was just hitting. Basically, the way he was fighting is that Katakuri was preventing Luffy from fighting at all. So yeah, I gotta commend Katakuri and Oda for basically putting a lot of strategy into that little bit of fighting, honestly. And but it's not like this fight was one-sided either, because even Katakuri acknowledges that Luffy is developing the ability of, I think it was future sight or something. It is developing basically the ability to predict the future, or future sight, with his observation hockey. So yeah, it's like on the surface this battle seemed one-sided, and to a certain degree it was, but at the same time, Luffy right now, he's basically openly taking the hits, if for no other reason than to just kind of hopefully eventually get pretty much a handle on the whole future sight ability, which honestly, with the way he's beat up, though, it makes me wonder as to what's gonna, as to if it's Luffy, he's of course gonna win, but how much shape is he really even gonna be in, or if he manages, but how much shape to fight is he even gonna be in, but by pretty much the time he ends up does getting future sight, like, is he gonna be able to fight Katakuri by then? Like, yeah, like I know Luffy's the main character, so he will defeat Katakuri, but it's like, yeah, Otis is really making us question whether or not he's gonna be able to get it, and he's gonna be able to get future sight in time. But yeah, and another thing is the cake is finally finished, and of course, the cake being finally finished means we can pretty much we can definitely move forward a lot more. Which I imagine the pace, which honestly, like, if there's anything that's been bogging down. If there's anything I had to say that has been kind of bogging down One Piece a bit, it's been this whole thing with the cake. But with it being finished, we can pretty much now move on. We can pretty much move on, and I imagine that the chapters from this point on are going to be like boom, 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 fast paced almost. Like it is going to still keep within Oda's own pace, but I do imagine that the pacing is going to speed up a bit as well. Uh, but again, the cake is finally finished, and there were two moments after its reveal that really got me hyped. The first was the split panel of Sanji and Luffy saying, "Because they're believing in me." And honestly, I don't know what it is, but something about those moments where the Straw Hats have a shared dialogue really get my blood pumping. And I think part of the reason why is because of this world Oda's created. He's created. Oda knows how to work off the relationship with his own characters to the point where he can make the friend to the point where he can make friendship and I guess sort of a and camaraderie of basically a pirate crew genuine. Like he knows how to I guess he knows how to combine. I get with this world. Oda knows how to combine the whole friendship aspect of a shonen, but he knows how to keep it within the realm of yes, these people are still crewmates and they are still and they still and they're still comrades and they're still comrades and crewmates and they still live on board the same ship as I guess equals or just as crewmates in general. So he's I like how Oda has found this medium in One Piece that definitely works in order to make the friendship just genuine. The friendship and camaraderie genuine, honestly. That's really all I can say about it. And sorry. The other moment that got me hyped was the final page. Because on top of the fact that Big Mom facing down the straws was amazing just in the artwork alone. Like fuck, just the design of seeing Big Mom on top of Prometheus. Holy shit! That's I haven't seen something that huge since I think since pretty much I haven't seen like a sun that big since pretty much the fight of Ace versus Blackbeard. Like holy shit, that yeah, Prometheus is wow. Prometheus and Big Mom, wow, yeah. um, but anyway, like, but just the fact that the artwork on itself was amazing. Big Mom, we do see a panel where Big Mom says, "I smell something." It says, "I smell something, a particular aroma or something like that," and we probably all know that Big Mom has more than likely caught the aroma of the cake itself. So it's really hard to tell, honestly, as to how this is. This is one of those things where it's really hard to tell what's going to happen because I want to assume how it's going to play out now is that in her like in her hungry rage, so to speak, Big Mom will basically tell everyone to follow. Will basically tell her entire fleet to follow her, which inevitably will of course which will divert the attention of her fleet away from the Straw Hats, allowing them to escape. I want to assume that's what's going to happen, but I know it's probably not going to be that easy either. What? Because there's one thing. Okay, so in that scenario where Big Mom does divert all attention away from the Straw Hats and that goes more towards the cake, there is sort of this. It's a double-edged sword almost. Like in one hand, yeah, it will probably give the Straw Hats an opening to escape, but on the other hand, it also puts Sanji in danger as well, probably. And we don't even know really how. And we don't even know really how. What Big Mom's gonna even do after she's eaten the cake. Because around the time she eats the cake, she's probably gonna. Big Mom has still been has been going insane throughout this entire experience. So, but once she eats something, she'll probably become more sane or saner. With Big Mom, it's always hard to tell whether she's insane or sane anymore. But yeah, but she'll become definitely more calm. Right, I definitely don't know that much, but we don't know what she's really gonna do after she eats. Like the Strats will still cause her so much, just so many problems. So I imagine even after she eats the cake, she's probably still gonna want to go after them. But I think if that does end up being the case, we have to also remember we haven't seen the Vin Smokes in a while. So I imagine that after whatever happens after Big Mom eats the cake, I imagine the Vin Smokes are gonna make a reappearance at that point, and probably I don't know help the Straw Hats escape. I don't know, but yeah, and but other than that, like we also get some. There's also some really other interesting, and that was like I guess what I just told you guys was basically the main meat of the chapter. But there were some interesting other little points about this chapter to take note of too, which is that we get introduced to the 33rd daughter of the of the Charlotte family, who is his name Flambe, which I guess it makes sense to name at this point to keep up with the food motif. But yeah, her name. We get to she's the 33rd daughter of the Charlotte family, Charlotte Flambe, and normally I haven't really paid much attention to these numbers. Honestly, I don't. They're one of those things where Oda hasn't really given too much of a reason to really pay too much to basically the number and the order in which the daughters and sons were birthed, but in this case, it actually has caused. In this particular case, it actually has caused me to actually pay attention to it because Oda revealed to us not too long ago that Pudding was the 35th daughter, meaning she's younger than Flambe, with Flambe being the 33rd daughter. So then that just raises the question: how old is Pudding? Because if she's younger than Flambe, then the idea of Big Mom marrying Pudding off with Vince Smoke family just took on a whole new level of creepy. And and the really fucked up thing about it is Pudding is younger than Flambe. She looks like her body figure, her body design, her Pudding's design as a whole. She looks like she could be anywhere from like around 16 to 21, around 16 to 20. That's pretty much the ballpark range I've seen of Pudding. Like that, she looks like she could be around anywhere from around 16 to 20. But if she's younger than Flambe, that means she's like anywhere from fuck 12 to 14, or 12, or yeah, like honestly, this is one of those things where Big Mom marrying Pudding off to the Vince Smoke family just took on a whole new level of creepy. And again, we know Big Mom only uses these marriages as political negotiations, pretty much. But so she could so I guess I shouldn't be too surprised. But honestly, it just really ups the creepiness factor when you think that in order to to pretty much set up these political alliances and negotiations, she could pretty much marry off a daughter who's 8 years old, and honestly, the sad part is I wouldn't be surprised if she does that, if she ever did that. Like, yeah, I'm not sure how old Pudding is, but yeah, it's gotten me a little creeped out. I'm not gonna lie. Uh, I I don't know. I want to assume that maybe she's almost. I don't know. Yeah. Um. And and another thing, like it's not really a big thing, which is why I left it to last. But we get the reveal of a popularity contest between the Charlotte family, of how Flambe is the most loved of all her older brother, is the most loved of all the daughters, but by pretty much all her older brothers, and Katakuri is the most popular brother among all the sisters, which which I guess in a certain way you could say does bring a new light to how everyone trusts Katakuri to defeat Luffy, but if we think about it, there's a very satirical element in which we could see this as Oda breaking the fourth wall and addressing maybe how he views the character popularity polls, which he probably sees as stupid. I don't know. Like I want to say it's unlikely, and that's just my own little thought, but it's Oda. So I don't think we can rule out that this whole popularity contest in the Charlotte family was probably Oda taking a jab at the Shonen Jump popularity the Shonen Jump character popularity polls or something like that. Like, honestly, I think I want to. It's almost one of those things where you say, yeah, I don't think Oda really gives a crap about the popularity polls, honestly. But I don't know. I'll just leave that one up to the comment section of what they think. But yeah, guys, that's my review. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe, or follow me on Twitter and Facebook. Death Knight of Anime, signing off. Later, guys.